streaming live so you can taste the authenticity. It is October, and we have the awesome opportunity to start another season with Allison Carver, Mangia's official therapist. You know, sometimes it's cooking therapy, sometimes it's cooking therapy, sometimes it's, you know,
regular therapy.
Tonight is episode 1, season 2.
Season 2, exactly.
Thank you so much for being a part of this.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm thrilled to be back. So last season, I spent most of my time focusing on using cooking recipes with your partner to fix romantic relationships. But this season, I'm switching gears and focusing more on all the other relationships you have in your life, whether they're coworkers or family or anybody else in your life, because we all have relationships, and cooking therapy helps all of those relationships.
All right. So tonight's episode, we are going to kick the season off with...
Yes. So tonight, yes, exactly, we're talking about blended families. This is a big topic that I hear a lot about in my practice. I have lots of people that come to me that struggle with stepkids or, you know, extra spouses that are in the picture, and how do you juggle all these extra people? And so I thought, what a great way to come up with a recipe to blend it all together.
All right. So blended families or blended communities.
That's right. Exactly. And this recipe can really be tweaked. And if you're not a blended family, let's say, I guarantee you got a blended coworker situation, or at work you struggle with your team. This recipe is perfect for that, because it's a group of people that you can't get rid of.
Right. So maybe even extended family.
Yes.
You know, I'm part of a ownership situation in a vacation rental.
Exactly.
You know,
yes.
people come together and form communities, and then other people get drawn into those communities, and everybody's got to learn how to get along.
Exactly.
So
this is a great 3-step, simple, delicious recipe to do just that.
So we're going to address the dysfunction or the communication hurdles, maybe.
Yep.
In that process.
Exactly. And
we're going to assemble
some pizza.
Who
doesn't like pizza?
Who doesn't like pizza? And
nobody.
We're going to call them flatbreads, all right? Because a flatbread is a $10 item on the food truck. If I named it pizza, maybe $7. I don't know. And more importantly, I was turned on to these stone-fire naan breads.
So good.
A couple years ago, I used these on the food truck. They're phenomenal, and they're a lot healthier. They come frozen, all right? So they par-bake them. They make the dough, no preservatives or any of that stuff in it. You got to keep them frozen. Once you get them, they can go in the fridge for a couple of days, but they don't have a real long, unthawed shelf life.
Well, that's how you know it's a good product. It's not a lot of crap in it.
Exactly.
To make it last 100 years. And I love, too, that this is like a national brand, so you can find it anywhere. Obviously, we're in Richmond, and I picked that up at my local grocery store.
Right, and I was getting them at the Cash and Carry in Bend to take on the trail, the Oregon Trail, to the food truck, the Tuscan chuck wagon, and fire them up. So we're going to do, let's talk about the blending first. We're going to, obviously, you know what, flatbreads and homemade pizzas, a great opportunity to get into the fridge and start knocking around.
Yes, all your leftovers, pull them out.
Exactly, you got leftovers going, and or, you know, if it's a dinner party or something and you're making appetizers, maybe you don't want to use leftovers. You might want to do what I did today, which was low and slow chicken thighs, right? 5-6 hours at 220 with a bunch of the sweet rub. In my pictures, it says Fish Mojo. Talk about blending. It's the same blend, labeled 2 different ways.
There you go.
Like most of us.
Right. We all have different layers.
Okay. So step 1 is what?
Yeah. So for this cooking therapy recipe, what you're going to do, step 1, get everybody in your family or your community, your team, whoever you're struggling with, get them all into the kitchen together, because you're all making this recipe together. That's a difference, too, between last season and this season, because last season it was mostly like you and your partner, but now we're getting the whole gang into the kitchen. And you're going to assemble your dough and assemble all of your ingredients. You're going to literally be pulling everything out of this kitchen and get it all out here just like we have it here. And then during this step 2 is you're going to get some paper, and you're going to, each person, no matter if they are 5 years old or 50 years old, you're going to have them write down what problem are they having right now in this group. So for a blended family, you want everybody to write down what problem they're having.
Okay.
Whether it's with the parents or the kids or whomever. And then same with the community, the team, whoever.
All right.
Everyone's got problems, write them down.
So we got a bunch of ingredients, which is all the participants in the community. Is that right?
Exactly. spoon?
I got it. I got it.
All right.
All right.
Yep, so you're going to get everybody in here. You're going to pull out the ingredients. I love this too about flatbreads. And I also love to make them all the time because they're really easy. And you can really use anything you want. So if you don't particularly like Hawaiian chicken flatbread, I don't know why you wouldn't. But if you don't, you can always make a different kind and just tweak it. Because it's all about the process.
Well, we got a man down. We'll get to that later. All right, so we got the chicken reheating and charring in a skillet, and we are going to char up some pineapple.
Yum. How do I get this opened up?
Get that opened up, and we're going to go with a couple Hawaiian chicken flatbreads, like I did on the food truck, and then we're going to do a little caprese, too. You know why? Because we can.
Because we felt like it.
All right, so
This is your step one here to your recipe.
it is going.
Is it too hot?
Well, need to be quick, though.
Now remember, if you have any questions or any ideas or feedback you want to give us, please feel free to do so. That's what we love about these live streams. We can do that anytime.
So in your work, as far as blended families are concerned, what are some of the things that you've heard?
The biggest thing is, I think, when it comes to having kids, they're saying,
Right.
well, this is your kid, he's a troublemaker, you got to fix him. And it's not about he's your kid, she's your kid. It's a matter of you're a family now, so everyone is together. When you got married, you signed up to take on those kids, no matter how bad they are. Sorry to tell you that, but that's the case.
Right.
So you have to look at this as a united front. And I think it's important that the family become a united team and really look at that as a community and talk about ways that you can accept this challenge. You know, blended families are tricky, but it's doable if you sit down and talk about it. Like everything, if you communicate, you can come up with a solution. And that's what this recipe is all about, coming up with that solution.
How much is that beginning process, them understanding that this is the community that they're in,
Yeah.
and they don't have the choice?
They don't have a choice, yeah.
Is
A
that-
lot.
Is that part of it?
It is part of it. It is part of it. You know, it's amazing to me when I work with these, usually this is the couple, you know, that comes in to see me and they didn't really have this discussion prior to getting married. It amazes me that they didn't talk about it. So if you're considering becoming a blended family, make sure you make this recipe. Make sure you sit down and have this discussion because it will save you a lot of heartache later on.
All right, so
So what he's done is he's put, yeah, you can see this, the
check this out.
barbecue sauce.
We got the barbecue sauce going on.
Yum.
All right, now here's another thing, the difference between flatbreads and pizzas. When you think of pizza, I mean, I think people think of pizza, and if it isn't loaded with cheese, they feel ripped off,
Right.
right? With flatbread, we got so many other killer flavors going on.
And I think too, it's most, for me, the flatbread's a lot about the crust. I want a
Yeah.
really good crust on the flatbread.
All right, why don't you
Yeah, what can I do?
do a little olive oil on
Yeah.
those, and then
Yeah.
we're gonna hit those with, all right.
So as you can see right now, we are moving into the assembling step of this recipe, which for my recipe means we're going into phase 2, step 2. So step 2 is where you're going to actually physically assemble the pizza like we're doing. And during this step, every person is going to share with the group what problem they wrote down on their list. And you're going to start brainstorming. You're going to start coming up with solutions to deal with those problems.
So step 2, do the problems go into a hat?
No, they just know.
No?
Oh, do you want to put them in a hat? We can put them in a hat. That makes it more interactive.
Well, you know, me, I want them to go in a hat so I can start wagering on whose problem, if I can guess whose problem is what.
Right.
How about tongs in the Carver kitchen?
Would be right within that right where you were.
Yeah.
Mine's all the coupons. This is our junk drawer. Welcome to our junk. See, he found
Look
it.
at that. Tongs. All right, so
Yeah, so you're just going to start talking about everybody's problem. And remember, everyone's problem is equally as important. So if your kid is saying that he doesn't feel like he gets enough, I don't know, Xbox time, take that seriously, even though I'm sure you want to roll your eyes and, you know, complain about that. Everybody's problem is important because it's rooted in something else.
So really, this one again goes back to opening the lines of communication
Yes.
and getting.
And talk, yes, exactly, because talking to me is the solution to every problem. I know I've said that before, and I'll say that every day, because the more people talk, the more you solve your problems. It's amazing to me how people don't communicate about big things, about small things. They don't
We
communicate
got
at
some
all.
chard,
I love it.
some charred pineapple.
Love it. Yeah, so for the Hawaiian chicken flatbread, what we're doing is we're putting the barbecue sauce, the chicken, the pineapple, a little red onion, and then a little bit of mozzarella cheese on top.
And again, the cheese is like, it's not supposed to be a cheese pizza.
Right. It's just kind of like an afterthought to kind of hold it all together.
Little mouthfeel,
These look
little
good.
texture. Look at this.
That looks really good.
$10.
Easily.
I got a square pad I can, fire it up.
Right, we start shortly.
The chuck wagon on the road.
Oh, it looks like we got a question here. Let's see what we got. How hot is the skillet for the pineapple?
Too hot. The question is,
That's a great question.
how dead is the battery in the Carver smoke detector?
Clearly.
You-
So we just moved into this house. It's been about a year. We never had the opportunity to test the smoke detector, so thanks for doing that.
I'm pretty sure the smoke detector doesn't work. All right. How hot? You want to hit that with basil?
Yes.
These guys?
Yes.
And then we're going to drizzle balsamic. All right, here we go with the cheese again. I want people to see this because, again, the flatbread, it doesn't need
A lot.
a ton of cheese. All right?
And as you're assembling, you're talking about all those great problems.
So that's what I mean. The cheese is just one of the many awesome ingredients on there. So now you're going to get the spice and heat from the barbecue sauce, right? That crunch from the red onion, the sweetness from the pineapple, right? And the little chewy, gooey, ooey, frank and chewy from the...
Frank and chewy, I like that. That was
All
good.
right.
And here's mine.
Hold on.
Oh,
Hit that with a little. Again,
I forgot
just
the
a
cheese.
little. She forgot the cheese.
Oh, and the balsamic.
And then a little balsamic. Call this the caprese.
Caprese.
All right, the oven is at 425, and they only got to go in for about 5 to 7 minutes. All right, you don't have to.
Which is good.
All right, here we go. Let's see if we can.
Pop these bad boys in here. There we go. Thank
right.
you. All right, so now this is step 3, right? Baking the pizza. So for this cooking therapy recipe, the third step is now that you've discussed what the problems are, you've come up with some solutions, now you're going to sit down and decide how can you establish a better relationship within each person within your little family. So it's important to come up with a game plan for how are you going to spend more time with this person, when is that time going to start, how long is it going to last. You need to make a real commitment and effort to join this family. Okay,
so do you recommend that they make a contract's a strong word,
yeah.
But we're gonna
flatbread contract.
a flatbread sealed with a flatbread.
See?
A contract sealed with flatbread.
Yes. And plus, I think it's important to even use the word contract because it makes it more serious, especially for kids. They need to know that you're really committed to not only their mom, but also them.
Right.
They're a part of this relationship too.
So do you have each person in the relationship, in that
Yes.
community, make a separate contract with
Yes.
each one, so they're making more connections,
Yes.
and they're starting to understand that, all right, I'm in this.
This is
and
happening.
This
yeah.
is happening.
Yeah. And we're not talking serious things. We're talking like once a week you're going to go get ice cream or get a cup of coffee or go for a walk or
Right.
something to commit to that relationship.
Okay, that makes total sense.
Yeah, that's step
It's
3.
like family team building.
Exactly. And think how great this would be for a team, for a coworkers situation.
Right.
If you were forced to spend time together outside the office or in a different environment, it would be huge for that, disgruntled.
Right, and it's building trust and actually finding out and learning
Right.
something about the person and maybe shattering the beliefs that you have.
Right. You're right. I
Set
like
in
that.
stone.
It's like family team building. I like that.
Family team live at MangiaTV.
We're doing
Right.
some family team building over flatbreads.
Right. All right, Allison. Let's talk. Hey, you know what? Did anybody
No, set the timer. I was just thinking
All
that.
right, let's go.
I can do it over here.
5 minutes from now.
Okay.
I think we'll be good.
Okay.
5 minutes from So step 3 was actually making those contracts and those connections.
And verbally saying them out loud is important too.
Right.
As well as coming up when the start date is going to be. Don't put this off. Chances are you've been putting this off long enough, so stop doing that. Make a commitment. Start it next Saturday. Done and done.
Have you ever read the book, Ron Wee's The 4 Commitments?
No.
Isn't that it? One of them, anyway, is be impeccable with your word.
I like that.
And I find so often that in any kind of relationship, if you are not impeccable with your word, and this type of exercise forces people, especially if something's been written down, right, and then there's been a negotiation about it, and then they understand that, wow, my word is important.
And think how empowering that is for kids.
Right.
Who have maybe been, moved out of their home into a new situation, new environment, dealing with a whole new set of rules and expectations, that their voice is being heard and that it's being taken seriously. It's huge. It's huge. Okay.
And, it's got to be huge in the work environment, too.
Right.
Especially with differing pay grades, differing levels of,
And we've all been there at a workplace, not feeling like you've been heard.
Right.
Or valued, for that matter.
All right, and then what is the eating of the flatbread? What is that? What is that step 4?
That's step 4. That's just eating and enjoying.
All right.
Enjoying the blended coming together. Yeah, we don't have step 4. That's just eating.
Okay. Now, when you work with a blended family like this, do you have like weekly check-ins then to see how if people are on task, if they are impeccable with their word?
Yes, definitely. If the folks that come and do this cooking therapy recipe with me, they do that. I always check in with them a couple weeks later. I send them an email. I'm like, how's it going? You can follow through with what you're doing, and usually they say yes. Sometimes they say no, but
And the blending is not going well. It's oil and water.
Right. Yeah.
Right. All right, Allison, we are going to tell us a little bit about your planned schedule.
Yes, so
for this
season 2. So like I said in the beginning, I'm focusing on all the other relationships in your life that can be better fixed by cooking therapy. So we're going to do, my show is going to be every other week, starting this week, and then it'll be every other Thursday on Therapy Thursday, right here on MangiaTV. And then we will wrap it up just before the holidays.
Okay.
So I'm focusing on some really big ticket things like dealing with your mother-in-law, dealing with your family around the holidays, dealing with siblings.
Those are big ones.
These are like reoccurring themes at this time of year. I always get clients. I always get people asking me, how do I deal with my family? The holidays are stressful. So I figured, why not devote this whole pre-season to just that?
Okay.
So that's what I'm going to be doing.
All right. Let's, unfortunately the dysfunction keeps you in business.
Right. I'll always have a job.
Yeah, always have, right?
I'll take it.
The executive producer is nodding his head over there. Dysfunction pays the bills. Don't get too, too healthy. All right, fantastic. What else?
And so I also, some updates from me, so I've also redone or revamped my website.
Okay.
I've gotten a new design and new content, so please, check that out. You can order my book. It's much easier now. I got a lot of feedback that it was a little bit hard, so now you can order it directly through me, through my website.
Fantastic. Great. And then I just exposed Allison tonight to redbubble.com.
Yes.
And she's going to upload her art to Redbubble, which is a site that you can go on and buy her artwork on various different things. She hasn't done it yet. This is coming.
Artwork.
This is coming.
It's kind of a scary term.
This is coming.
Maybe some fun hashtag shirts or something.
Exactly.
Especially cooking therapy.
Cooking therapy. We're more than willing and accepting of great hashtags, by the way, to put on the t-shirt.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. And also, actually, I'm glad you were plugging ourselves here. So in November, I'm going to be starting a cookie campaign. Did I tell you about this?
No.
So it's going to be once a week. I'm going to be promoting, because let's be honest, cookies make people happy. Cookies make me happy. Baking makes me happy. I want to share the love, and I want you to be a part of it. So I want you to use the hashtag #ATOTCookieChallenge, and then I want you to post a video, post a blog, post a photograph of why having my cookies sent to you will make you happy. And every week I'll do a new recipe and I will send them to you. So the winner gets free cookies. Who doesn't love that?
I love it already. Is there any way that I can rig this
I was gonna
so
say.
I win weekly?
No.
All right, look at that.
These look amazing.
Don't worry, I'm fine. All right, now what we need.
Can the pizzas
is-
be seen? No.
Can I see that?
Yes. He's gonna cut 'em up. He's gonna do the fancy cutting.
Do you have a big knife?
All of our knives are right here. This one?
Oh, this is gonna be better.
Yeah.
Alrighty then. Spatula.
Ah. Dirty, I have a wooden one.
Alright.
Smells good in here.
Would you bring that cutting board over here so I can put one on there? Perfect. Let me grab one of these guys. Awesome.
Smells so good, doesn't it?
Come on. Alright. So now the naans, what was that, 5 minutes?
Yeah.
They've already crisped up. So the naan breads are already, they're cooked. I mean, you can
Yeah.
eat them like a pita, basically. But then in a 425, 450 oven, or if you have a pellet smoker that has the pizza oven in it, a lot of these ones are coming now with pizza oven
Nice.
attachments, or an outdoor pizza oven. These things cook up super fast on the patio.
I was gonna ask, have you ever grilled with these before?
You can definitely
Yeah.
grill them, and I am going to put together my pellet-driven pizza smoker for sale. I don't know if I'll get it done by the holidays, but definitely by next year's grilling season.
Nice.
You're going to have the opportunity. All right, so
Yum.
let's do this. Since we've solved all these problems,
Right, now you get to eat and enjoy.
we have this commitment from the participants.
And everyone's, and you've also solved the basic problems, the day-to-day dramas of all being together in a new environment. Because change is hard, right? Let's be honest, it's difficult.
That's really hot. I think our
Yeah.
faces would smoke out. I'm not burning my lips for cooking therapy.
At least the smoke is cleared.
The smoke is cleared. All right, listen, thank you so much for stopping by. Allison, thank you so
Thank
much.
you for coming.
All right. You know what? I forgot to do it. I forgot to do it.
Sell the
What is-
lines.
Okay. Listen, you could help out MangiaTV by drinking wine incredibly, right?
Amazing.
Amazing. What a great concept that is. Go to sellerangels.com, all right? Incredible wine. Everybody buys great wine in their lives, right?
Mhm.
When
We
you're
do in this
when you're
house.
ringing it more than other times in life. maybe
And the
you buy-
holidays are coming up.
The holidays
all
are
of
coming
your
up. You wanna
crazy
impress
families
some
coming
people.
in.
Sellerangels.com has some of the greatest small vintners in all of California, and a portion of their proceeds of that sale go towards a charity that you get to pick on their website.
Oh, I love that.
One of their charity
great.
partners. And if you use the code MangiaWine at checkout, they're going to pay for the shipping for 2 bottles to 1 case, which is
What a bargain.
it's a no-brainer. All right,
Yeah.
go to sellerangels.com and use MangiaWine in the code and help us and help yourself
Yeah,
to
get
some
some wine.
incredible wine. All right, do yourself a favor and cook somebody a meal. All right,
That's right.
and
And cook up some solutions to those problems
Cook-
at the same time.
exactly.